The new school year is underway for most of Central Texas, and with it comes new possibilities and priorities. However, there are still things like staffing shortages and other issues that teachers and students are facing. This morning, Becky Pringle, president of the National Education Association, joins us to explain how parents and educators can work together to help students reach their full potential. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Leslie.
So, Becky, here in Texas, we know a new school year has already started. Many districts are still reporting educator shortages. Is this something that's being seen across the country? Is it only in Texas? What can be done about it?
Leslie, let me begin by saying this is always such an exciting year, that time of year. You know, I taught middle level learners the wonders of science for over 30 years. And this time of year, when we start back to school, is that fresh start where we open up our school doors, we open up our offices and classrooms, school buses, welcome students back. They're excited, parents are excited, and we want to do everything we can to keep up that excitement so that we can create an environment where there's joy and learning and safety and all the things we know our students need to thrive and to grow into their brilliance. But unfortunately, some of our students will go back to school and they will not have permanent teachers. They will have teachers who are not certified to teach math or science. They will not have special education teachers, some of our most challenging areas. And so we must do everything we can to address this crisis. It's a chronic crisis. It's not new. The pandemic made it worse, but we have to make sure that our students have a qualified, caring, committed, and certified teacher in every classroom.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like how you shared that. You know, two things can be true at once. It can be exciting and beautiful and all of the new things, and also, you know, having a little bit of challenges. So as parents are navigating both of these realities, what is your suggestion for parents to really prioritize for their students this new school year?
First of all, parents can do what they always do. You know, our parents are our students' first teachers. And one of the things that I knew as a teacher is that I could not do my job without them as partners, involving them in their students' learning, but also in creating that inclusive and safe and welcoming environment for all students. So parents can make sure that they are working with educators, that they are asking what they can do to help, that they are volunteering at school. They can make sure that they're creating a space for their kids to learn at night. They can ask them questions. They can sit down and read a book with them or have their students read to them. Parents are so critical in the education of their own children, and we as educators want to support that, as we always have.
Yeah, that's a great example of it takes a village, right? It's not only one person. Yes. Becky, last year we also know, you touched on it a little bit, educator morale was at an all-time low. Has it improved, and how can districts and even community members step up and help?
You know, Leslie, we're in a bit of an uptick on that, but it is at an all-time low. Throughout history, we've never seen the morale level of our educators be so low, and we know why. We've watched that. Educators have always stood in the gaps for students. Those gaps grew during the pandemic. More and more students were caught in those gaps. They were doing everything they could to support students, to feed families, to fight for them, to have what they needed. It's an exhausting job under normal circumstances, but during and after the pandemic, even more so. And then we are seeing across the country, unfortunately, some of our teachers being attacked, not respected for the important work they do, not being allowed to demonstrate their professional responsibility and authority, making collaborative decisions, teaching and learning decisions for their students. And of course, we have heard educators lift up their voices about the reality that they have never been paid in a manner that reflects that they are professionals. So they're still suffering in what we call a wage penalty gap, making at least 25% less than other professionals that have the same level of education and the same level of experience.
Right.
So we need to respect our teachers. We need to pay them them what they deserve, and we need to make sure they're supported and given the resources to do the jobs they love.
Absolutely. Much room for improvement there. Real quick, we are at time, Becky, but a website where folks can go for more resources.
Please go to NEA.org where you can get information. Parents, educators, and students themselves can get information about how to have an incredibly exciting and great start to their new school year.
Okay, perfect. Becky Pringle, president of the National Education Association, thanks so much for joining us. We'll be right back.